Okay, because of the pandemic, we had to work from home. Thank God, to the glory of God, nobody in my family was, infected or probably affected by, the virus. But then, we couldn't even do like the usual appraisal at work that would probably make you earn more or get promoted. So that one was stunted. Promotion was stunted, yes. And then I had to work from home. Working from home and also assisting my kids to study from home. So I had to bring in a structure that worked for me. So I got a teacher who comes, stays with my children to teach them, because they couldn't just do that. The online school and everything didn't work for my kids. For me, I enjoyed it because I was able to study. So I was able to study. I read a lot. I read a lot of things. You understand, that was very, very good too. That was helpful in my career.
Well, the pandemic actually affected my career a lot. Like I said, it's a target-based, performance-based career I have. So during that period, during the lockdown especially, most clients were unavailable. Many didn't want to see anyone. Everybody was trying to keep to themselves. So it was harder to meet clients and make sales at that period. So it had that effect, as in my sales dropped, my promotion had to be delayed. And then on the family front, it was better. At least I got to spend time with the children, my husband, do the things that normally I don't have time to do. So it was a bit of good and bad at the same time. It wasn't all bad. Yes, my kids had to do homeschooling, and I appreciated my children's teachers at that point. And I realized that it's not an easy task at all. I had to do it with 3 kids. My husband too was there. At least he helped. It wasn't easy.
The pandemic has really affected everybody. First of all, schools were closed, and with schools closed, it means I wasn't able to do my job effectively as a teacher. Of course, we have we adapted to other platforms, but they're not as effective as one-on-one teaching. Okay. Also, not my school in particular, but in Lesotho and other countries, we saw schools, because of schools closing down, so many of the teachers have not been paid, were not paid for a number of months. It was quite a challenge.
It had always been my aspiration. Flexibility had always been my aspiration. I should be able to work a little for money. I don't have to go into the office. But when it came, it was difficult to handle. And, I found that a lot of people did not respect boundaries. And we would work. I would literally just wake up and roll onto my laptop. Like, laptop was right there next to me. I'll roll onto it, start the work. You won't even get up till 12, even 1, 2 a.m. sometimes, get some sleep, and then you continue. People just expected that you were going to be online all the time. We would do meetings from morning till like 8 p.m. and then you will now start the actual work. It was driving me crazy.
The pandemic affected my career significantly, especially at the peak of the pandemic in 2020 during the lockdown period. I nearly lost my mind, like most working parents did. It was difficult to juggle homeschooling, caring for the children, cooking, home chores, and getting the work done.
One good thing, the lockdown period provided me with was time. I had all the time to spend with the kids. We tried dishes we hadn't tried before. We tried out new recipes. We were even pretending to be running a video, to be running reality show, we'll be in the kitchen, my son will be filming, and we'll try recipes. It was a time to bond with the kids on an entirely new level.
So I used the pandemic to my advantage, I must say. I wouldn't say I'm happy the pandemic came, but I am grateful that I stayed at home within that period, because I made sure I made up for lost times for my family. My kids, I noticed prior to that time, we were lacking in some areas in school. When I go for their open days, the teachers, when we interact, they've told me this, that. So I really wanted a time to sit with my kids, to teach them, because I am a teacher too. I make sure I do that. It was within that period of the pandemic that I was able to complete my postgraduate studies. At some point, I thought I wouldn't be able to complete it because there was no time.
The current job that I have, I got in the middle of the pandemic. So it affected me in that sense, and I had to get into another industry, which is thriving now, and that's the digital industry. So getting into the digital industry has forced me to learn new things, to learn how to work asynchronously. And so it has affected me as a mom in the sense that I've had to go for long periods, certain periods without seeing my kids or being with them physically in the same place. Because, you know, with the surge of infections in Nairobi, I had to just keep them away from Nairobi for some time, and that has meant that I can't go and see them where I want to see them as frequently because Nairobi has been on lockdown for a couple of times. So it has affected us in that way, and we are now relying a lot on communication, video calls.
Companies are shut down. Nobody's exchanging documents. Nobody's upgrading anything. Nobody's out there. Financially, it's affected me, because it was not rolling in like that.
I got some flu. Then I ignored it, and then I just said, no, it can't be COVID. It's just the flu thing. It will pass. After some time, the hospital requested us to test for COVID. It was must thing. All the staff members had to test. I was COVID positive. Then we went for quarantine with my roommate. And then I was from quarantine from 14 days. Then I came here home. It was so challenging and it was so emotional when I saw my family. They were scared, literally, they were scared of me. Because it was new. It was a new thing that they were seeing it on TVs that it's killing people. People are dying from COVID. And then I had it. After 2 days, I was sick, very sick. And then they called the ambulance. The ambulance came here. When they checked for my oxygen saturation, I was desaturating. I remember well that I cried, but I said, no, I'd rather die in my bedroom, but for my family's sake, to not put them in more danger, because I was already regretting that I was the one who affected them.
One of the challenges women face in their career, in the process of rising, I think the major one is stereotype.
It's misrepresentation. You don't have a lot of women up there in the IT sector. It's just now that STEM has started introducing a lot of young girls to, IT.
In Africa, I think we still have the traditional, traditional way. There are things women cannot do that women can.
I don't entirely agree. In as much as I do not deny the fact that there are cultural practices, cultural issues that actually is a big stumbling block for the girl child or the female gender. But I honestly believe that if you work hard as a woman, that you would get to the apex of your career.
And someone will tell you, you know what, you don't need that position. You don't need to be fighting like that. Just be doing your own work, Your husband can take care of you. I mean, I went to school just like my husband, and I put in exactly the same amount of time and hard work. Why would anybody think that I do not deserve to get a position or or a certain role because I'm a woman and because I'm being taken care of at home.
So some of the limitations start from the genesis, where you do not have equal access to education.
For African women, maybe I would say is the lack of maybe diversity in skill sets.
Well, not raise the ladies the way they raise gentlemen the same. No, it's not. It's not the same.
Let's even start from this part of the northern part of Nigeria, not just in Africa. Women do not advance that much than the male counterpart because of the society. They feel a woman is supposed to be a full-time housewife. You understand? Stay at home, take care of the kids, take care of the husbands, cook, and the routine. That's just the daily routine.
There are women MDs in the bank, and that's the highest position in the banking industry. There are a lot of EDs that are women. Once you're doing well, you have a target, you meet your target, you get your promotion.
I think a good approach to increased participation of women in the workplace will be making sure that the women are encouraged and supported.
I think it's just to have more mentors available for women to reach out to.
Give them a platform where they can express themselves. They can come together, to find means to help one another.
The most important thing is empowerment. Empowerment of a girl child.
Government should start by enforcing, the rules or enforcing rules around having more women participation in politics, in positions, in their appointment. We must have a balance.
Starts from our homes, our traditions, our cultures, our religious leaders, and our workplace too.
I think they should be encouraged in their earnings.
My advice for aspiring career women will be get on and go for it. Have a dream, follow your dream, identify what skill sets you require for the career that you wish to pursue, and be the absolute expert you can be in that.
You need to be able to network very well and position yourself so that you're being seen as someone who can actually do what you are saying you can do.
So I'd say they should be knowledgeable, they should be strong, because they'll meet a lot of obstacles, a lot of opposition from people in the same field as them and even other fields.
I would just like to say we learn every day. We never stop learning. So read.
The world is your oyster. Never ever let anybody or anything place a limit on you.
If you want it, you can have it. Just make up your mind. Stay focused. You can get there. There are so many of us already, doing it.
You need to be someone who does not wait for things to happen to them. You need to be the one making things happen.
You must really know what you want from the start.
To go ahead, to keep their heads up and know that there is nothing they cannot do.
All right, my final words for women out there is you are beautiful, you are strong, you are loved by everyone around you. Don't let anybody bring you down, no. Don't let words bring you down. Don't let the society body shame you or size shame you or voice shame you. Do what you want, go for what you want, and trust me that you excel.
Culturally in Africa, working women have always worked a double shift, juggling a full day of work with childcare, housework, and community responsibilities. With the pandemic came a collapse of the boundaries between the time we spend at work and the time we spend with family. This demand on women tends to pose a barrier to career acceleration. According to the IMF, gender parity has a significant impact on economic development in any society. Accelerating female leadership in organizations requires the full engagement of women as the major stakeholder. This small sample size of women across sub-Saharan Africa have shared their stories, challenges, successes, passion, and ambitions with us. And despite the difference in geographical space, the stories are similar. It implies that the experiences of these women are the reality of many across the African region. As men, women, organizations, and other stakeholders unite to bridge gender equality, it is essential to create mechanisms that enhance career progression for more women and empower more women and girls to spread their wings and fly. I dream of a better world, a world where women and girls are acknowledged and respected for who they are, not as sex slaves or household plagues, but as joint partners in shaping the world of technology, innovation, entrepreneurship, business success, and sustainability. Together, let's accelerate progress. Together, we can be unstoppable.